In this video, we're going to go through the AIMSOIR data structure, which is required for a database to be compatible with the AIMSOIR reporting tool. There are template shape files available to download, and I'll put the link in the description. These template shape files already have all these fields set up, so you don't have to create them yourselves. There are shape files for points and line features. In this video, we're going to go through each of these attribute fields, starting with municipal ID all the way to GIS link, and give you a brief description of how to get started. This should help if you're creating an asset database or if you're modifying your existing database so that it's compatible with the AIMSOIR reporting tool. First up is mun_ID, and this is short for municipal ID. This field is required to be captured with all your assets to use the spreadsheet. This is especially important if you're taking care of multiple municipalities within a single AIMSOIR spreadsheet. You should ensure that each municipality has its own unique municipal ID. We recommend the shortened version of your name, your municipal name in all caps. So for example, for New York City, potentially NYC, or for Halifax, HLFX. Next field is feature code. This is required in order to use the AIMSOIR spreadsheet, so that the AIMSOIR looks up costs, calculations, etc. from this. So each feature has its own unique feature ID, otherwise known as feature code. For example, a water hydrant is set to capital H, capital Y. There's a background tab in the AIMSOIR spreadsheet that lists all of our standard feature codes, which is important that you look at when you're creating your asset database. If you do not see your feature code in the standard list, there's an ability to add a feature code. So it's important to record your feature code so that later on in the process, when you're creating reports, you can add it to the database. The northing attribute field is not required in order to use the AIMSOIR spreadsheet. This is the y coordinate of your point or line. QGIS does have a function to generate this y coordinate. Similarly with easting, this attribute field is not required in order to use the AIMSOIR spreadsheet. It's an x coordinate. QGIS also has the ability to generate an x coordinate in this attribute field. Elevation is not required in order to use the AIMSOIR spreadsheet. This value is the z coordinate of your desired coordinate reference system. Condition is required for the AIMSOIR, and this is the following rating system. 1 is very good, 2 is good, 3 is fair, 4 is poor, and 5 is very poor. For hard to inspect assets, we recommend to examine the install year and the design life to come up with a preliminary condition rating. Later on in the process, after risk is taken into consideration, that's when we recommend to perform detailed inspections. There is a link in the description for a condition assessment guideline that you can look at. The material field is not required. However, it will increase the accuracy of the AIMSOIR estimates. There is a current list of materials similar to feature codes, a standard list that are in the background tab. Also similar to the feature code, you can add new materials to this list manually. Install year is not required. It's just good to know when your infrastructure was put in for reference. The data format is 4 integers, like 1994. Next field is loc_disc, which is short for location description. This is not required to use the AIMSOIR. It's intended for notes to help you locate the asset in the field. The diameter is not required for the AIMSOIR. This is for pipes. Please use nominal diameters in millimeters. For a current list of diameters, you can check the background tab. So even though it's not required, it will increase the accuracy of AIMSOIR estimates. Width is not required in the AIMSOIR spreadsheet. Where this comes into play is the width of roads, sidewalks, trails, etc. And again, although it's not required, it will increase the accuracy of estimates. This width, by the way, is in meters. Comments are not required to use the AIMSOIR spreadsheet. It's just intended for any general comments regarding the asset. The length attribute field is required. For line features, this should be the length in meters of that asset. For point features, it defaults to 1. There is a function in QGIS to generate length for captured line features. Status is not required. This is intended to keep track of infrastructure that should not be taken into consideration when we're generating asset management reports. If there is some infrastructure that's abandoned and you have it captured in your database, for example, an abandoned pipe, assign this to inactive in all caps. The final field is GIS_link. This attribute field is required to use the AIMSOIR. This, for each feature, this must be unique. And what this feature does is it links the AIMSOIR to the GIS so that you can generate reports and maps based on the data that is calculated in the spreadsheet. We recommend to use a system which includes first the asset class. For example, for a water line feature, be water_L_1. So for the second one, it would be water_L_2. There is a function in QGIS to generate this automatically for your entire dataset. Another example for sanitary points would be san_p_1. Now, if you already have a system that you're using, as long as each field is unique, then it'll work perfectly. All right, that's it for the data structure. Make sure you check out all the links in the description, as there's lots of information on how to capture all these fields in your database. Thanks.